Good morning, people. Hey, just a thought for the day. I was watching a TV show last night. It was called The Story of Michael Gudinski. Now, Michael Gudinski was an Australian icon, a legend in the music and entertainment industry. He was a promoter at a music record label and all sorts of different things. And he promoted mainly Australian entertainment, rock, things like that in the early days, and international artists. Lots of international artists came out through his organisation over the years. Anyway, he died a couple of years ago. He was 68 or 69 years old. Anyway, it was just an eye-opener for me. Made me realise I grew up in the 80s and the 90s when I was starting to go to clubs and pubs in Newcastle, which is a couple of hours north of Sydney for those overseas. And the Newcastle rock music and live entertainment industry was absolutely thriving back in those days. Pubs everywhere, there was clubs, there was nightclubs, there was a place called the Palais, which was a big theatre. I don't know how big it was, but it was big for me when I was 18, 19, 20, 21, whatever. But there was always bands there. Every week every Friday, Saturday night there was bands, sometimes during the week as well. And we thought nothing of it, just going up there, turning up there, not knowing who was on. And there'd be iconic bands and legendary bands like Cold Chisel and Dragon, Matt Finish, the Angels, all those really, really well-known Australian bands. Lots of others, around, but they just played there so often, you just took it for granted. And it made me realise how lucky I was to have actually grown up in that era, being able to go to them. And these days you go to see Noiseworks or somewhere like that, or Cold Chisel, and when they reform, but some of them are still performing, like Dragon's still performing, you've got to wait for ages, and quite often those sorts of concerts don't come very often, and they are sold out very quickly. Back then it was, what's on? Oh, Dragon's on. Oh, awesome. Let's just go. Or you turn up at the door and you don't even know who's there, and you go in and Cold Chisel performing. It was just such a fantastic era of Australian music to be able to be part of that and experience it. And unfortunately, I guess we all just took it for granted. I mean, the Palais is long gone now. There's a KFC built on it or something, but the pub situation in Newcastle and the live music, live entertainment situation in Newcastle is, I wouldn't say it's dead, but it's very, very, very light compared to what it was back then. And it just made me realise, watching the stuff that it was going on this TV show last night, how lucky I was. Anyway, that's my thought for the day. Have a good one.